As a community radio station, WDNA not only serves but also reflects the diversity of South Florida. Jazz is an art form that appeals to all ages.
Well, there are several things that make WDNA unique. First and foremost is the music. The music that we play here is pretty much unduplicated. You're not going to hear it anywhere else. This is something that we do on a daily basis. Just our approach to doing things in general. At the core of what we do here is the community. I'm not sure if that's practiced as much in the real world, so to speak, as much as it is here.
I know that a lot of folks say, you know, jazz is dead and this and that, and to me, Miami has always been such a vibrant place for jazz. So I've seen all that exists here in Miami is fantastic.
To expand the listenership. Typically, a jazz station would reach someone in their middle 40s and above. One of the things that I thought that we needed to do was to expose it to younger students or younger audiences. I've personally, on behalf of WDNA, gone out to several middle schools, high schools, colleges, promoting what we do here at WDNA. We've also implemented an annual scholarship, music scholarship program here. Every year we send students to the annual Litchfield Jazz Camp in Connecticut. And I can tell you that when I came on board as the sales and marketing manager 6 years ago, less than 2% of our audience were students. Today, we're averaging around 25% of our total audience that were students. And in some months, we're even seeing that number go up to as high as 35%.
And I think that since our education system doesn't necessarily include enough of this type of music, I think it's important that we educate our children and our community with music that they may not hear. And that's kind of our way of doing it. And we've received calls and emails from people that teach in various locations, and they're inspired, and they give us their feedback, how appreciative they are that we're doing this show and sharing this music.
So I meet a lot of young people that maybe they say they don't like jazz, but then I'll mention a certain artist, and right away they'll say, well, I like that person. Well, I'll say they do jazz. That's the beauty of jazz. The fact that you can hear different musicians take old standards, make them new, or have new jazz artists that are very popular with the younger generation make new music that sounds like it's from bebop or hard bop or fusion from another generation and make it their own. I feel that I never lose interest in seeking out something new, and I think that's a good thing. If it's music or art or whatever, and the fact that when you're involved in the arts, if you're involved in music, it keeps you open to meeting new people all the time.
Bringing those borders down and not having walls. The things that are cool should be about being one. We are one as a family. Unity is so important.
When I really started to get deeply into jazz was the late 60s. Now, with the way the climate was in the country at that time, when there was a lot of problems with the races and all the things that were going on, the amazing thing was I found that when you got into the music community, they were basically colorblind.
So it's a pleasure for us to be able to do it. It's a pleasure for us to every week, put together the ingredients, throw it into the pot, create our own global gumbo. Really, this show is about, promoting our sameness. Promoting the human culture. We want our children and other people's children, to grow up interacting with each other in a positive, life-affirming way. And in our own little way with this show, I think we can help in that conversation, that overall community conversation, to be a part of that, kind of process. And at the end of the day, everybody, gets to be celebrated. And it's really about celebrating, our diversity and humanity itself.